Welcome back. It is Wednesday, May 3rd in the NBA. My two favorite picks are on the way. Today we're talking all about the only game on the slate as the Sixers travel to Boston again to take on the Celtics for game 2. But first, I want to introduce you guys to a special guest, the Bro. A 3-0 sweep yesterday. We will take that. We absolutely deserved it. Gabe Vincent over 13.5 points. Relatively no sweat. Didn't do much in the first half, but started knocking down some shots. Ended with 21 points. Stephen Curry's under 43.5 PRAs was an absolute no sweat bet. I mean, the man had like 11 PRAs going into the fourth. He get like 24 PRAs in the fourth quarter. Didn't matter. We got it done. The only sweat was actually if it was going to go to overtime or not, but we'll take that. And then we had that same game parlay. We had LeBron 20 plus points. We had Wiggins 15 plus points and Reeves 10 plus points in a same game parlay. In fact, all three of those guys went under the regular lines, but hey, they still got it done. We'll take it. A 3-0 sweep of the day. Let's bring out the brooms today for another 2-0 sweep. Either way, if you did Taylor Underdog Fantasy parlay, if that wasn't good enough, you at least cashed another one there. We did have Ohtani in there, but he voided. But either way, a great day all around. And I always mention a couple different sportsbook sign-up bonuses, but we have a bunch of different ones. They're all at the links in the top, in the bottom of the top of the description, all around in the description for Sleeper, for PrizePicks, No House Advantage, Underdog Fantasy, or even if you want to go to a FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, all those links are down below. It supports the channel if you use those links. Certainly would appreciate it. They're all down below. You can figure it out which one you want. Take advantage of that. But either way, let's dive into our favorite picks today. We're going to a guy that treated us very nicely in game 1, made us sweat, exactly what we wanted. It's Marcus Smart. I like his over 16.5 points plus assists, minus 115 on Bet365. Now, for my FanDuel users out there that only have FanDuel, this is why I say it's important to line shop. But if you don't feel like line shopping, number one, that's probably your fault. But 17.5 is the only line FanDuel's dropping. They're the only book at 17.5 that I saw this morning. I'd probably play that at half unit, or you can take a FanDuel pivot if you want to take the same game parlay for Smart to get 10 points. And I like Tatum's over 6.5 rebounds to get 7 plus rebounds. I think that's a pretty good one. And if you're just at 16.5, probably play it to minus 125. Now, let's talk about Smart though. He enters this game with a chest contusion. He is questionable. I would find it very hard to believe Smart does not play. We know he's a gamer. He's a guy that throws his body around in those games, in every game. So not surprised to see him get a little bit banged up. But I'm confident he goes out there and plays. I mean, he played 35 minutes in game 1. Really don't see him not playing in game 2. Now, if he doesn't want to play, sure, I'll get my money back. I guess that could happen. I'd rather him not play than go out there and play and get injured. But either way, I think Smart can get it done. And as you might know, we took Smart's over 11.5 points in game 1. Now, he ended with 12 points on the dot. We appreciate him for doing that. However, he didn't attempt a single shot in the first half. As we know, I put out a tweet at halftime saying if Smart hits his over, scores 12 points in the second half, I'd give away a random subscriber or a random person that liked the tweet a t-shirt and a hat from calling our shot. And he ended up making me give away. And I'm happy to do another giveaway maybe if that happens again where he doesn't shoot a single shot in the first half. But he still ended up with 7 field goal attempts. And I really would find it hard to believe Marcus Smart doesn't attempt a shot in the first half. We saw in that first round series against the Atlanta Hawks, he attempted 11, 19, 14, and 8 and 12 field goal attempts. So 10 plus field goal attempts at all of those games. And I think there's a chance he could hit his over and just points alone, but I'm taking points plus assists for a couple different reasons. Now, number one, Smart did have 7 assists in game 1, 11 potential assists, and I think there's a good chance he at least gets us 5 assists. Now, if Smart gets us 5 assists only today, well, then we'd basically just be taking his over 11.5 points, which is the one we took in game 1. However, there is a chance that I think Smart could get 6, 7, 8 assists. I mean, he had 7 in game 1, and that could give us a little bit better chance at hitting his over in points, which was my original lean today, but I think he gets the assists. Now, let's talk about in the game 1 what also happened in that game. We saw Tatum have 26, I believe, points in the first half, and then the Sixers obviously said, all right, fine. You're obviously cooking us. We're going to play a tougher defense on you. And we saw Tatum still kind of cooking in the third quarter. Fourth quarter, they said, nope, enough's enough. And then when winning time was there, they kind of clamped up on Tatum, made someone else beat them. And that's exactly when we saw Marcus Smart step up. And this is a great matchup for Smart. Again, it's to step up and get those shot attempts. And we should see him knock down some more shots today. I mean, we've seen this postseason. Smart's been very good at hitting this line. In fact, he's hit this in 6 of 7 games with 18, 20, 32, 23, 12, 26, and 19 field goal attempts. Smart has attempted 10 or more field goal attempts in 37 games this season. He missed some time in there, but 37 games, he attempted 10 or more shots, hit the over in 29 of those 37. So very good hit rate. That's 78% of the time. 7 field goal attempts in the second half. I expect him to shoot some more. I don't see Tatum shooting 25 times once again here. I think Tatum maybe gets more assists tonight than, and you've seen when Tatum normally plays the Sixers, normally struggles in scoring points. And so I just don't see Tatum dropping a 38, 39 piece again. I don't expect this injury to really limit Smart at all. He's, like I said, he's a gamer. He played a lot of minutes in game 1. I expect him to go out there and do his thing. In 4 games versus Philly this year, he had 21, 13, 21, and 19 points plus assists. The 19 was in game 1. So I believe in you, Marcus. You treated us I mean, you made us sweat very hard in game one, but I think we see more field goal attempts. I'd probably argue that Smart probably should have went under in game one. And normally when my plays go wrong the first time, they normally hit the second game. So maybe we'll pretend Smart didn't hit in game one. And I think he crushes it today. He could hit 17 points, but I'll take the points plus assists alone. I think that's a pretty good one. If you want just the individual leg points, is probably the way to go. But give me Marcus Smart over 16.5 points and plus assists as my first play of the day. Now, we obviously are going to go to a bankroll builder. This one's much different. So before you go down below in the comments and ask me a trillion questions, I'm going to try to answer the questions before you do that. Just save me a little bit of time. Let's talk about this one. Jaylen Brown, 20 plus points. Derek White, 2 plus assists. Jason Tatum, 7 plus rebounds. And Jason Tatum under 36.5 points. Now, yes, there's going to be some comments here. Let me answer them. Number one, the question I expect to see, Austin, I cannot take Tatum under 36.5 points. I either only have 29.5 or 30.5, or if you're on DraftKings, you have 31.5. Now, personally, obviously, you can take 31.5 on DraftKings if you want. I personally would just avoid you putting that leg in there. Instead, here's a couple other ones that I did consider, and you can, well, I'll talk about a couple other ones in 1 second. If you just want to take away the Tatum under 36.5 points, I know his regular line's 29.5, 30.5. I did consider his regular under as one of my plays of the day, but I'll take the alt under 36.5 points, which is available on FanDuel. So if you want to tell my exact parlay that I'm doing today, it is probably going to be only on FanDuel. That gives you alt lines all the way up that high. Now, another question I expect, Austin, if I remove, Jason Tatum's leg that you have from the parlay on the screen right now, what other legs can I replace? Because that's minus 130. What other legs do you like that could potentially get me to plus value? Here's a couple ones that I do like. Jaylen Brown, 2 plus assists. I really like that one. And Robert Williams for 5 or 6 rebounds. Probably obviously prefer 5 over 6, but I think Robert Williams has a decent rebounding day. And then another one, Marcus Smart, 4 plus assists. I ordered those in the likeness or the priority that I would probably prioritize them. I probably like Jaylen Brown assists, 2 plus, Robert Williams rebounds, and then Marcus Smart in that order. But those are added legs. You can do whatever you want with them. I'm going to talk about my parlay that was on the screen just a second ago. Let's talk about these ones. Now, obviously, if you go back to game one, 3 of those 4 legs hit. The one that didn't was Jason Tatum's under 36.5 points, which is obviously an alt line, not his regular line. Now, I'd be very, very surprised if Tatum came out here and dropped another 37-point game, 39-point game. We saw the Sixers make adjustments. I'll eat my humble pie if Jason Tatum drops 37 points on my dome. I just don't see that happening today. I think the Sixers are a team that has notoriously done pretty well defending Jason Tatum. I think they make life tough on him. And there's an ideal world where Jaylen Brown's the guy cooking and boom, we can get a no sweat bet. Now, but let's also talk about Jaylen Brown, though, because in game one, man only had 10 field goal attempts. And well, let's talk about how did Jason Tatum score 39 points? First off, Jaylen Brown, 10 field goal attempts. Marcus Smart didn't shoot a shot in the first half. Derek White sucked too. So all those things had to go right, and Tatum still barely got over this 36.5 points line. Now let's talk about Tatum. He's under actually 31.5 points in 6 of 7 playoff games. We know these lines are sharp. That's why I'm taking the alt line. Derek White, also 2 plus assists in all 7 playoff games. If there's a guy that's probably going to screw us, I'd probably say Derek White would be the guy, but I think he plays much better. I mean, this guy plays a good amount of minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. He's unselfish. He'll make the extra passes. I think he gets assist chances. Normally a guy that I can count on for 2 assists. He can do that in the first quarter, do that in the whole game. I think he plays more minutes today. Did not play well in game one. I think he plays better today. Now, if we're going to talk about Jason Tatum as a rebounder, very good against the Philadelphia 76ers. 11 rebounds game one, 7 rebounds in all 7 playoff games this season. Normally had a very good track record getting rebounds against the Sixers. I'll take my chances there. And then Jaylen Brown, 20 plus points. In an ideal world, Jaylen Brown comes out here, goes takeover mode, takes away Jason Tatum in terms of shooting, and maybe Derek White's dishing it to Jaylen Brown, and we get a no sweat bet all around. But you saw Jaylen Brown still manage 23 points in game one, despite only 10 field goal attempts. Expect some more usage. Scored 20 plus points in 61 of 74 games this season, 82.4% of the time. I just see him shoot more than 10 times. While I don't expect him to shoot 80% from the field, maybe he gets, closer to 16 to 20 field goal attempts. It shoots closer to 50%, gets to the free throw line, does his thing. Obviously going to put a lot of focus on stopping Jason Tatum. So look, I'll take my chances at this. I think I have a good chance. I think Jaylen Brown could take over. We've seen him do that time and time again this postseason with like a 35-point game for himself. And I like all 4 of these legs. The bankroll builder, it's a little bit different than what we normally do, but Jaylen Brown, 20 plus points, Derek White, 2 plus assists, Jason Tatum, 7 plus rebounds, and then the alt line, Jason Tatum under 36.5 points. People might not like taking an alt under for Jason Tatum, but I think it's got a good chance. Plus 106 on FanDuel. Hopefully this hits and we can string together these bankroll builders, building up that bankroll. Those are my favorite plays of the day. As always, leave your favorite plays down below in the comments. Hit that subscribe button if you want to check out our MLB video. It's on the screen. MLB parlay of the day on the screen. Love you guys. Have a great Wednesday. I'll see you guys back in tomorrow. We only have Lakers Warriors, but we'll do the same exact thing then. See you guys there. Peace out.